Hi everyone, welcome to the Connective Podcast. Welcome to our Valentine's Day special. I'm Michelle.
I'm Kiara.
I'm Maya.
I'm Natalia.
So today we're going to be talking about relationships, just everything about them. First, so can we call our first guest to the stage for our first segment, which is the hot seat? So.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's not plugged into. I hear static. You do?
Okay. So can someone put up a timer? We could put up a timer on the clock.
I got it. You got it? I got it.
Someone.
Wait a minute. You got your question ready?
Yeah.
Wait, first, he has to introduce himself.
My name is Colson.
How old are you, Colson?
I'm 15.
What
Please
grade are
take your
you in?
glasses off.
Took my class.
Thank you.
What grade are you in?
10th.
So, 60
Okay.
seconds. You got 60 seconds to answer about 10, 11 questions. Answer them as fast as possible. It's okay if you mess up.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
And if you feel like you don't want to answer it, just say pass.
Yeah, just say pass.
But don't pass all of them. Okay? Ready?
Okay.
Set. Go.
Okay, first question. Have you ever called a woman out her name?
Yes.
Do you use the word trish?
Yes.
What does the word trish mean to you?
A hoe.
What?
A hoe.
Okay, have you ever cheated before?
No.
Have you ever been cheated on?
No.
Do you believe in love? Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
What's the most important thing in a relationship?
Communication.
What's the first thing you notice about a person?
Appearance.
What's your pet peeves in a relationship?
Lying. Bad communication.
What are some common trends in your past relationships?
Bad communication.
You did that in. We had 20 seconds left. So that was
Oh,
really good.
so that means we should move it down
30
to 45.
seconds.
45.
Yeah, we moving the next 45 seconds.
Add me on Instagram. Is C Colson with 4 N's.
Okay.
Big forehead?
We would like to
You said big forehead? Oh, okay. He said add him on Instagram, big forehead. put it
No.
right here.
COLSONNN.
Big forehead.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh, we can see ourselves?
We
I'm
would like
upside
to
down.
call our next person to the hot seat.
That stuff smells good over there.
It do.
I don't know. It's
Mine
Is
is
it tea tree oil? Something like that?
Okay, so I'm gonna do the questions this time. It's Maya on the scene. Yeah. Okay, so Coastal went by really fast, so we gotta step it up, the challenge. So you're not getting a minute. I should really give you 10 seconds, but I'm gonna be nice. You get 45 seconds.
45 seconds.
45
That's it.
seconds.
Answer
And
all
if you
questions.
beat this, I feel bad for the next person. They are definitely getting 30.
You're gonna get 30 seconds.
You might
You're gonna
get-
dip down to 15 seconds.
Yes.
Down to 5.
So y'all better start struggling.
Y'all answering these too quick.
By the time it gets to Greg, I guess you're gonna get
2
like
seconds.
1, 2.
Okay. Oh, first let's introduce.
My name is Jason. I'm a freshman in high school.
How old are you, Jason?
I'm 16.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
45
Start the
seconds on
timer.
the clock.
Go.
Ready?
Okay. So, do you call women out their names?
Yeah.
Do you use the word treesh?
Sometimes.
What does the word treesh mean to you?
When she date too many boys and she just, date too many boys at the same time.
Can a boy be a treesh?
Yeah, it depends.
Have you ever cheated?
No.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Yeah.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Sometimes.
What's the most important thing in a relationship?
Talking.
What is the first thing you notice about a person?
Her hair, her eyes.
Pet peeves in a relationship.
Keeping secrets.
What are the common trends in your past relationships? AKA, what's your type?
Nothing. I don't really have any.
Your time is up.
Y'all about to get 30 seconds.
Y'all about to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
that.
We can keep it at 45 because I asked that extra because you know how he said it's with a girl.
Dates too many.
Yeah, but I'm like, can a boy be a treesh?
But then when we really think about do they really be calling boys Trish and stuff? They be
Yeah.
calling them the man and like, oh,
A man whore.
he's like, you know,
They be giving them props.
like he be getting props. Like his friends like, oh, I saw you with this girl next
You
that
got
day.
Becky. You got Jessica. You got Emily.
Yeah, you got
so
all the
that's not
girls.
really like you're not a treat. You just
You just
A
doing
player.
your thing,
yeah,
bro.
you doing you. That's what they say. But then when a girl does it, she a
Okay,
treat. She
yeah,
a
you
thought.
gotta
Like she does too much. And I feel like that's crazy. But, you know,
Okay.
we're not gonna get into all of that right now.
We're gonna save it for later.
All right, so we got our next guest coming up. Number
Come on.
3.
Hello.
Can you please
Introduce
introduce
yourself.
yourself?
My name is Justice.
What grade you in?
I'm a sophomore in high school. I'm 16.
All right. So you getting less time than him.
No,
We got-
because
We give him 40 seconds.
I think we should give him 40 because he like just beat it. I think we should do 45, y'all.
Yeah, 45.
But we need them to be like stressed.
Oh, yeah.
And we gotta be like 10 seconds left.
No, so then do 40.
30.
That's not fair.
40.
It's justice. Come on.
Justice.
40.
All right, 40
We should have
seconds.
a
Let us
prize.
know when you're ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You ready?
Okay.
5,
You ask me
4,
questions?
3, 2, 1, go.
Do you call women out their names?
Yes.
Do you use the word treesh?
Yes.
Oh. What does the word treesh mean to you?
Uh-huh.
Wow. Have you ever been cheated on?
No.
Have you ever cheated?
Yes.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
No.
What's the most important thing in a relationship?
Communication.
What's the first thing you notice about a person?
Their looks.
What's your pet peeves in a relationship?
Not keeping secrets.
Okay. What are some common trends in your last relationship?
Keeping secrets.
You had 6 seconds left.
Wait, do you have me? I feel like that means that we
So
need
then 30
30
seconds.
30 seconds. Who's next?
No, it would really need 35 seconds because I gave him 40.
Fine, 35 seconds.
So
Greg,
it would be 35 seconds.
you only getting 35 seconds.
Man, I gotta violate me.
Bro, blame your boy Justice, because he went too fast.
You didn't even let her finish the question.
Yeah.
Well, can we like
Questions, you would just answer those.
these questions more so we can say what we think back because like we're letting y'all
After
answer,
we,
you know?
after y'all finish, after we finish doing our hot seat, we finna call all y'all up here, and we're gonna
She
talk
said
about
Finna.
Finna.
With an F.
F.
Finna.
All right. Introduce yourself.
My name is Greg. I'm a sophomore and I'm 15 years
Switch
old.
them up. Because they be knowing
Oh,
what
yeah.
we about to do, so switch
Alright.
them up.
Alright.
You ready
Okay,
for
so
this?
you only getting notifying you. You only getting 35 seconds, okay?
35.
Wait, hold on, wait. Let's show the camera.
35 seconds.
30,
You think you ready for this?
Over for him.
35 seconds.
You sure you ready for this?
35 seconds.
Yeah, I can't get 40 seconds.
What we just said?
What I say goes.
We
What's
said
going is
35.
going.
Okay.
All right.
Hold on. Don't go yet.
Tell us when you're ready.
No,
Alright, I'm
so
ready.
you gonna be ready.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright.
Okay.
Ready?
3. Oh wait, I said 3. 3, 2, 1, go.
What is the first thing you notice about a person?
Other looks.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Yes.
Have you cheated?
No.
Do you use the word treesh?
Yes.
What does the word treesh mean to you?
Oh.
What are common trends in your past relationship?
Common trends.
Or like, what's your type?
Dark skin girls.
Calm down. Do you call women out of their names?
Yes.
What's the most important thing about a relationship?
Listen, I'm gonna give that to you. You did that? That was awful.
I like your answers. You got good answers.
You?
Yeah, I started to get hot.
The dark skin.
Wait, we have
We have
one
one
more.
Oh, we got one more. You got to get 30 seconds.
Call our
We
last
got 30
person
seconds.
up.
Like 35 this year.
Oh, can I take this out?
No, you can leave it. All right.
All right, I need to
Thank
ask
you,
these
beautiful.
questions.
I wanna ask them.
You ask them.
All right.
Wait, can I introduce myself?
Yeah.
Please.
Hi, my name is Darius. I'm 15 and I'm a sophomore.
15, you the first 15-year-old.
No,
He's
he's
15.
Colson's 15.
He's 15. What?
Greg
What
is
do you?
15.
you know.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, you got food in your mouth?
No,
like-
I'm valid. I'm valid.
I smell it.
Shut up.
Hey, what is he?
Chips. No, I'm not supposed to be eating chips,
Is that
but
sour cream and onion?
Sour cream and onion. You were eating sour
Hey,
cream and
y'all
onion.
got a
Yes.
full dog.
I smell, yeah.
All right.
From your breath. Blow into that.
Tell us when you're ready.
All right.
It's all fun and games.
Wait, I was about to give him 37 seconds.
Finish.
Ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go. What's your pet peeves in a relationship?
Lying.
What's the most important thing in a relationship?
Consistency.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
Yes.
Have you ever cheated?
No.
Have you ever been cheated on?
Not sure.
Do you call women Do you call women out of their names?
Yes.
Do you use the word sheesh?
Yes.
What does the word sheesh mean to you?
A hoe.
Okay. What are common trends in your past relationship?
In terms of looks, race doesn't matter. In terms of personality, more of goofy, outgoing type.
I like that. What's the first thing you notice about a person?
Their appearance.
And time's up.
Buzzer beater, bro.
Thank you.
How was that the most thorough? You had the less time.
The least amount. I chose time. We wanted to bring everyone back so we could just talk about these questions real quick. Hi everyone, so today I'm here with my chemistry teacher.
Ms. Bowman.
And so the first question we have for you is, what's the science behind love?
Well, love in itself is not purely chemical, but there are a lot of chemicals involved. So there's 3 stages that are often discussed, being lust and then attraction and then attachment. So it's very often that people think that lust and attraction have to happen at the same time, but you could lust after someone and not even be attracted to them, right? And you can be attracted to someone but not desire to do anything physically intimate with them as well. So with lust, we're driven purely by what people kind of think as their sex hormones. So like testosterone and estrogen, everyone has them, but depending on the levels, depends on like where you're falling on the spectrum. So like males will have far more testosterone than estrogen, and females will have far more estrogen than testosterone. But in this love process, you'll have spikes of these 2 things. When it comes to attraction, you'll start to see things like dopamine, which is like in your reward spot kind of part of the brain. It's also what's related to uppers and drugs. It's what causes people to become addicted to drugs. They get addicted to the feeling of dopamine. You can have norepinephrine, which functions in a similar way with adrenaline, but if it goes too far, it can cause some really intense like stalker syndrome. Like you can like really get really stalkery and like crazy with that. And no one really needs that. Like no one needs that. And then we also have serotonin. So that's for attachment. For attraction. For attachment, you have oxytocin and you have vasopressin, and those are more long term and they sit longer and they're dealing with like breastfeeding and orgasm and all those other things. So that's like the general hormones behind them.
Well, like as we all know what lust is, which is like the sexual desire towards one person, like another person. But can you please just explain like the main differences between attraction and attachment? Because I feel like they can get really
Mixed up.
Yeah, they can get mixed up or like flipped.
Yeah, so for example, there's people that are have you heard of like a serial romantic? Like someone who like is constantly like in relationships, they're like kind of always in a monogamous relationship, meaning that they're always with another person, like frequently, right?
Yes.
They often do not achieve sustainability and attachment. It kind of just ends at attraction. So what happens is that they lack the ability to produce the other hormones beyond dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. They lack the ability to produce oxytocin and vasopressin because, quite frankly, they're starting to lose interest.
Do you think it's more attraction, like his attraction that drives him, or his attachment to the person? Because like he starts to kill people over that person, but then like if that person he doesn't like have interest anymore, he just like cuts it off completely.
I think he doesn't actually achieve true attachment. I think it stops at attraction. I think that he becomes obsessive. When you have low levels of serotonin, you can actually start to have altered mental statuses. This can cause those stalker tendencies and all these other things. The norepinephrine causes a lot of big clingy issues sometimes as well. He might feel like he might be producing oxytocin and vasopressin after being intimate with whoever he's with, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's happening like in a day-to-day balance. Because if you notice, after he kills someone, right, or is done with that person, it's just over. Yeah. Like, he didn't continue. He didn't really truly continue to love to like back. Yeah, he didn't truly continue to love back. Like he thought about her, and that was someone in his past, but he wasn't attacked. He wasn't debilitated by her being gone. And even with the end of the second season with Love, they showed that when they make a third one, which I don't really think there should be a third season, but when they like show that there's a third one, there's someone else that he points out as his like you. Like there's another person that he's pointing out to. So I would actually say that he is not only like a serial romantic on type of being, you know, like a serial killer. Like he's a serial romantic and a serial killer as well. So I don't think he actually ever achieves true attachment. So.
Do you think that love can be taught or?
I'm not sure if I could say that love could be taught, but I do think that there's certain things that could cause you to make, that could cause you to love a little harder, or maybe it could be more difficult for you to love. So maybe you're having certain traumas in a particular life, so you're associating a lot of things with these traumas. It makes it more difficult for you to actually love someone or care for someone that deeply. But I think everyone has the ability to love unless they're a sociopath. Like I'm not sure they actually have the true ability to love because they lack empathy, and I think that love involves being able to feel with someone and not just for somebody. But outside of being a sociopath, I think that it's not necessarily taught or not taught. It's more so it's either harder or easier for others.
It's possible for like love, because you know how they're able to mimic other emotions really well in order to like, so everyone else isn't like aware that they're a sociopath or aware that they don't, like they lack empathy. Do you think love is one of those emotions that is like easy to mimic?
Yeah, I think it is, because when people think of someone loving you, they think of actions.
Mm-hmm.
They think of like those moments of like cuddling. They think of those moments of like what else? It is. I fixed it. They think of those moments of like cuddling. They think of those like dates. They think of those moments of like loving each other and being intimate with each other and having those nights and all this. Like people think of love as an action. So I think that you can mimic love by mimicking those actions to someone, and therefore make someone feel like they're loved. But you don't actually love them. You're just trying to. You're just performing mimicry at that point.
Well, it looks like that's all the time we have today. Thank you, Ms. Bowman, for talking about love. Thank you for just explaining to our viewers the like true chemistry, true like science behind it, because it's not just a mental thing. It's something that our body and our brain produce in order to make us like feel these different feelings. So, can we talk about the pet peeves in relationships? Greg, I know you wanted to say something about that.
Alright, so in one of my past relationships, you know, I feel like a big pet peeve of mine is clinginess, because I feel like always wanting to talk to a person can get, you know, annoying eventually. And I feel like in a relationship, sometimes you just need, you know, personal space and time to yourself. So yeah.
So talking about that, like the do's and don'ts of relationships. So you think it's necessary for in a relationship to have space
Yeah.
and not to be up
Like
under each
together.
other all the time, 24/7.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, we were thinking another like do is like communication, especially. Like I feel like if you can't communicate in your relationship, then there shouldn't be one in the first place. Like if I feel like I can't talk to my partner, then like
What's the point?
what's the point? Yeah.
That's why I feel like building a friendship is so important at first. I feel like if you're going into it not really knowing the person, it can really mess you up. So yeah, like you gotta build some type of foundation first, so you know like what's going on.
I feel like two other important do's are like consistency and reassurance. Because I feel like those two aren't like talked about enough. Like, yeah, Greg, you bring up a good point about clinginess. Like everybody needs their space, but you also need to be consistent. Like you can't like leave somebody undelivered for a long amount of time and then not tell them what's going on, not keeping them up. You need to be consistent. And not like people don't say it a lot, but people need reassurance. It feels good to be reassured, to know that somebody cares about you. Especially when it comes to a relationship, to know that they're even thinking about you, you know?
Yeah, I think that goes for like all relationships with like boyfriend, girlfriends, or relationships with friends, because like I feel like with consistency, I said that right?
Yeah, you good.
So with me, I feel like people are supposed to be like whatever relationship you guys are in, it has to like be there all the time. Don't want to be my friend only at this moment. You have to be consistent. If you're not gonna be my friend every day out the week, don't I feel like that's not fair to both of you guys because you're wasting that person's time because you want to use them whenever you feel like you need to use them or whenever you feel like you need them. Like, you have to think about sometimes people need you. Sometimes you need them. Like, you can't try to choose whenever you want to speak to somebody or whenever you want to deal with somebody. Like, you need to, that goes in with communication.
Yeah.
Like, if you feel like you're at the point where sometimes you feel like you don't want to be around that person, that's like showing you, maybe I need to stop dealing with this person. Maybe I need to tell them, like, this relationship not working no more. So, like, that all ties in. All of these do's and don'ts, like, tie into each other if you really look at it.
Yes, ma'am.
What are
So
some
fun.
don'ts in a relationship that y'all think?
Don't this whole I think one annoying like thing is like when you see on Snapchat, Instagram, all these girls want like, oh, I want a gangbanger, I want a gangsta, this, that, and the third. I think that is so like played out. Like, I feel like a lot of these girls are like, oh, I want a gangsta, I want this, that, and the third. And then when they get into a really toxic relationship with a guy who doesn't care and treats them horribly, they look surprised. And that goes the same thing for guys who want the bad girl, the bad chick, this, that, and the third. And then when they're talking to other guys and you're you're complaining, that's the one you chose. So I feel like you should choose wisely, not like this whole I want the bad person kind of thing.
You're so smart.
Yes, I think that like even when people that goes into like rushing into relationships. I feel like you gotta ride that
Yeah,
wave
that's
for
a
as
fact.
long as you can. Like I feel like people nowadays, even in middle school and elementary school, I've seen people and like had boyfriends and girlfriends. I'm like, yo,
Talking
we
about
like
how I love you.
yeah, like yo, we're like 12. What are you talking about? You don't even know like what that is. So I feel like people rush into relationships, and that's when stuff doesn't work out because you don't even know what you want at this age. So you're rushing. Like I know me, I was like, I want a boyfriend. I really want a boyfriend so bad. But then I told my parents, they like, what do you want a boyfriend for? I couldn't say anything because what do you want a boyfriend for? It's a natural feeling, like you want somebody. But
Exactly.
I cannot name one thing right now to y'all and say I want a boyfriend because of this. Like it's, I don't know.
There's
I don't know.
no-
Y'all
not a
can name-
valid reason.
Can
There's
y'all
no
name
benefits.
some-
Okay, yeah, not a valid reason.
Yeah, it's no
Because there's
valid.
reasons, but
yeah.
your parents are always gonna find a way to shut that.
Yeah, but it's not a reason that is like
There's no
needed
benefits,
right
no
now.
benef-
Yeah,
it's not beneficial
It's just a
to
want.
You can live without that.
Yeah.
Like if your mom came up to y'all and was like, "Oh, your dad," and like, "Why do you want to be in a relationship with someone?" What would you say?
You just be like, cause my feelings.
Yeah, I'd be like, I like the way the person makes me feel. I'm able to communicate with this person. They give me a good feeling, like they give me reassurance, and that's what I look for in a relationship. So when they're giving me that, that's something I like, I appreciate, and I reciprocate. And I reciprocate to them. So yeah.
Justice, what were you saying?
Like, speaking about like relationships and like with your parents, talking about like relationships, like when you're talking like with your parents.
A lot of likes.
For me, my mom says like don't focus on like girls, focus more on basketball, and what you want to do for your future, and then once that's like completed, then focus on girls and do that. But I'm like when I talk to her and like tell her like the way I feel and stuff, like we go back and forth. But then I also have to listen to my mom and like think about it and think like better and like choose better decisions and like what I want more, and I choose like basketball more.
That's another thing I feel like with relationships, you shouldn't feel like you're being held down. Like they should do nothing but push you to be the best person you could be. So if they're not pushing you, then what are they doing?
Or if they're not supporting.
If they're not supporting you, if they're not pushing you, if they're holding you down, like if say you gotta practice or you gotta go to the gym or something, and your girlfriend or your boyfriend's like, oh no, come over instead. Stuff like no, like they should want to see you win. So you gotta like help them support them.
understand.
They should understand what's going on and just be there to support you.
Jason, what's your point of view on this?
Like Colson said, like to support, I'm gonna show like a girlfriend or boyfriend should at least support you in whatever you're gonna do. Either it's basketball or photography as a girl. Doesn't matter what it
There's
is.
male photographers.
That's what I'm saying. Like they supposed to support each other no matter what, through the ups and downs, no matter what's going on in life. Just support each other.
Also, I think that another like big thing in a relationship is respect, cause like not only would I want like my boyfriend or whoever I'm talking to like support what I'm doing, I want them to like respect. Like as you were saying, like if you're an athlete, the fact that like, oh, I can't hang out with you this day because I have a basketball game. You could be mad, you could be like, oh, I don't like whatever, but you need to respect the fact that they're doing something that they love and something that could take them somewhere. it's just something that they need to do. You need to respect your partner. You can't just be disrespecting them.
I agree.
I was thinking like you shouldn't hide secrets from people, from your partner.
Like dishonesty.
Yeah, dishonesty is like a no-no, cause like
What kind of secrets?
like
Where you be at? Like if I ask you, are you home, and you say no, I'm outside, but I see you on home at Snap Map. Like,
Okay, Joe Goldberg. I see you.
Joe Goldberg.
You giving you vibes, honey.
still, like, what is the point of lying? What do you get out of that? 'Cause-
See, but look,
Honestly,
here's the thing.
my fault. Okay.
and then for
Invading
us girls,
privacy. No, time out. Invading your partner's privacy, though. That's crazy.
that's a difference.
See, you was just sitting here talking about, but I saw you on Snap Map. Like that's
But
crazy.
that's a difference.
If I ask you,
That's not
where you
different.
at, and you telling me, oh, I'm home. Look, if you want to lie to me, whatever. But if I find out, I'm getting like, it's it. Like if you lie to me once, I'm not gonna let you lie to me again. I'm not gonna let you make me look dumb again. But I'm not gonna be tracking you down. Like I need you in my life. I'm not gonna be checking your location every 5 minutes. If you're lying to me, that's it. And I find out that's it.
I 100% agree with you, sure. I feel like a lot of times, a lot of people, specifically like females, cause
You can keep
specific like females, cause I feel like females got a lot of like emotionally attracted more. I feel like they should like that whole keep that same energy. I feel like that's such a fact when it comes to relationships, cause it's like you shouldn't, if you have to fight for someone's time to like to just like for a text back, then they're not worth your time. It's always keep that same energy. If you can't find the time to text me back, I can't find the time to keep up on you. It's just
Move
we.
accordingly, like.
No, but I was saying that like if I ask you a question, if I ask you a question that I already know the answer to, and you lied to me in my face, and I asked you more than once, then that's just like very.
If you
even if I know the answer, I still want.
Yeah, I want to hear it from your mouth.
But why?
somebody asks you,
Because look, if I ask you a question, like say like Kosid,
What'd you eat for lunch? And I know you had pizza, and you tell me you went.
I had a
You
big
ain't
egg
had
and
nothing.
cheese.
Yeah, you had nothing today just to get like my food.
I'm
Saying
like,
you
But I
hungry.
saw you at the
Like,
pizza
but I
shop
saw
chopping
you,
up some
like,
pizza.
and
So
somebody
it's like-
asks you something, trust and believe they know. So don't lie.
But you might as well.
Especially females.
99%.
For the
Think
person.
about it, especially females, because we think about all of these things. So if I ask you a question,
All right, my fault, real quick. For the person asking, I feel like you might as well just be straight up. You might as well get straight to the point. Not even all this whole asking question. That's just gonna waste your time. You might as well be like, I saw you eating the pizza. No, you can't have none of my food. We don't got time for that.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, you're setting them up for disaster.
Yeah,
Exactly,
you might as
but
well.
that's
Why
what
want to
I'm
set
saying.
somebody
Yeah,
up for
both
because
disaster?
you already like made your bed. It's time to lay in it. If I see you getting pizza, right, and I'm like, oh, what did you eat for lunch? And you over here asking for my food, just know I know you're eating, so it's okay. Like if you want food, just ask.
yeah, what was the point of
But don't
lying?
be like, oh, I didn't eat. There's no reason for that, because I'm not a unreasonable
Guess you're
person.
gonna get hungry
Yeah.
today.
There's
If you're
no
lying,
And
it's
we're
like,
young, so
if you
nobody's.
lying, right, that means you have to go out of your way to lie. For a lot of people, lying doesn't just come easily. For some people, it does.
Yeah.
For me, it does. But
Sure.
like, I have to think. But for me, I have to think about the lie. I have to think it through. That's taking more energy. So it's from like sometimes it's more easy just tell the truth to come clean, because for something not as easy about a slice of pizza, yes, I eat pizza, but I'm still hungry. Can I get some of your food? That's it. Okay, fine. Here you go. Here's
Simple
a
as
piece of
that.
These are some grades, dude.
And then we can talk about the pizza
Yeah.
afterwards. Like,
Yeah.
it can lead to
All right,
something
so
good. if you
to-
like,
to
I
wrap
ain't
this
going
up like
Bravo,
the
but you told me you like dollar
You
pizza.
gotta like stop talking about pizza. Okay. So
Don't
we
lie.
what's something we took away a couple do's and don'ts in our relationships. Hopefully we put those to use.
Still gonna
Take
do
away.
it.
If you lie, I will find out.
Do not rush a
Most
relationship.
likely, I know.
How about
You-
just don't rush in
okay,
a
I'll
relationship?
shut up.
We're still learning. So like
Don't rush no relationship. You got
Yes.
time. You was young.
I need some
Don't be
water.
scared to go out and try new things. Not
okay.
Hey,
So
y'all.
now we're gonna come back into a little something new. And first we wanna talk about like the female role models out here now. We have like Nicki, Megan Thee Stallion, we got Cardi B, all
Doja
these
Cat.
yeah, we got all these new female rappers coming out that's inspiring women. But there has been backlash about like how they're kind of degrading themselves because of their appearance. But this is a way that they make their money. So, but this is the way that they make their money. So, do you think it's like degrading for a woman to, like, be in a two-piece on Instagram, or you think it's like it's her body? Why should it matter?
I think it's her body,
my fault.
and
Yeah.
if she feels good in what she wearing, she feel good in what she wear. If she feels good in what she's wearing, she could wear it. Like that's her. That's all her. That's what she wanna do. Go ahead. I don't really.
To add on to that, like
Yeah, justice.
to add on to that, it's like it's her body. And it's like you can't like really tell her what to do with her body. It's just like yeah.
Okay, well, hold on, real quick.
Wait, let him talk because he wanted to talk.
No, Greg, you can go.
Alright, so like if you feel comfortable in your own skin, you feel me? Like, do you you shouldn't care about what other people have to say. So,
Alright, what you got?
Okay, so I think that in terms of like, recently there was some big producer, I forgot his name. He was talking about how all female rap sounds the same. They all do the same for all their videos.
Jermaine.
Yeah,
Jermaine.
Jermaine. Yeah, and I think that I saw this video. This guy talked.
So deaf.
Yeah.
And this guy talked about it, and he was like, 20 years ago, Megan Thee Stallion would have been in the back of a music video twerking and dancing. So now that she's doing it is a problem. So I think that like our perspective on the situation is kind of like, oh, it's a problem. Like if you can name me one song that doesn't bring up money, women, or drugs, like you know what I mean? Like I think it's very hypocritical to look at the female side of the rap and be like, oh, they're such bad people for singing about doing all this nasty stuff. When men, we rap and sing about doing all this nasty stuff too.
But that's just also like the image that society has made. Like it's okay for a man to rapping about.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, wait.
You
The
good, talk.
image.
Nobody
huh?
can see you.
No, dude, just talk.
Okay.
bro.
The image that society
It's
has
not there.
made
I'm looking. It's not there.
is like, oh, it's okay for males to rap about like having sex with a bunch of females and all that. But like the moment a woman raps about
Her sexual.
like her sexual relations with dudes and stuff like that, it's crazy. Like I remember Nicki Minaj did get a lot of backlash when she had put out that one. What was it like? What was it called?
Anaconda?
No, Barbie.
Oh, Barbie Dreams.
Barbie Dreams, yeah.
Okay,
She got a lot of backlash from that because she was talking about basically having sex with every rapper in the game. But then again, like.
But she didn't. It was just.
Yeah, I
like-
know. But then again, like, if a male was to do that, talking about every female, every like model or something like that, he wouldn't have got backlash from it. It would have been okay.
He would have got props.
Yeah, that's like Meek Mill saying, or like Little Baby saying, "Bad chick look like Bernice, I call her Slim Jim," or like
Or A Boogie saying, what's Startender? He was like, oh, Shawty got ass, but she got a tummy tuck. Some shit. She needs a tummy tuck. Things like that. So like, they're constantly objectifying women and like trying to create their image or like what a woman should be, what a woman should look like in their image, which is basically someone who's with a nice body, but who doesn't like to show it off, who doesn't like attention from other guys, but who wants other people to look at her, you know, who wants to always look presentable. So now we're stuck in this like place where it's what is too much? Like, am I the good person with the good body, and I want to show it off, but I can't because the moment I do show off my body, then I'm seen as a hoe or I'm seen as a thot. But now if I don't have a nice body, I don't want to show it off. But then if I'm not showing off, people not like, oh, she
There's
don't
no
got a nice body.
attention,
She don't
yeah.
do this. She don't do that. And then it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, if I want to do what I want to do, I can't because now I have people coming to me telling me, oh, you're this way, you're that way, even though I know I'm not.
So are you insinuating that a lot of females get either bad attention or not necessarily any attention at all?
Yes.
Okay.
There was like that one quote, if I do it, I'm a slut, but if I don't, I'm a prude. So it's like, if we act one certain way, we're looked at this negative thing. And if we're not, if we don't do that certain thing, we're still looked negatively because of society, like societal standards. So
There's no gray area. It's either black or white.
And I also like I saw a post on social media the other day about Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion, and it was like Megan Thee Stallion gets like a lot of backlash with her showing her body because everyone's like, oh, I never seen her in pants, but that's like her look. That's what she's making her money off of. But Lizzo, when she's wearing her leotards and doing her flute thing, looking good, everybody's like, yes, praising her. But if Megan does it, it's like because Megan has this certain shape, it's not confidence. That's her being a hoe. Lizzo is confidence. But why are they both not confident? She want to show her body. Just because Lizzo has like not the ideal body shape and she's comfortable with it, doesn't mean that's confidence. That's just her wanting to do what she want to do. And that's the same for Megan. It's confidence still, but it's
it's
confidence.
to expose yourself to that type of like to the world or to like just show that different part of you. It takes a lot of confidence because you're opening yourself into a more vulnerable position.
But so like the question we're trying to ask you guys is like, do you think that there's ever too much skin? Do you think that there's a point where it's too much of you making money off of your body? Like, do you think it's degrading, or you like, if that's how you gotta make your money, money's money at the end of the day?
I think.
Can you repeat that one more time?
So like, do you think it's degrading for like these Instagram models to be making a living off of showing themselves and having the confidence to show their bodies on Instagram, or do you think like it's okay? That's the way they're making their money. Like that's not like you wouldn't mind your daughter doing that. Like let's put it in those words.
But I don't think. You have a good question, but I don't think that it should be like, oh, this is someone's daughter, this is someone's sister, this is someone's aunt, this is someone's mother. I think at the end of the day, she's still someone, and her decisions are her decisions. I don't think that because she's someone to somebody else, that should define what she has to do.
Well, the way I'm trying to say it is like you see these girls, you don't have no relationship to them. When it's personal to you, that's when you start having feel like you might be like, oh yeah, she's bad on Instagram, but you don't want somebody else talking about your mother like that.
But
you
then
know?
I get that.
So it always has to be a relationship to them for you to say your true emotions to it.
I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, I don't know what you guys are. I don't know like what your own opinion is, but I wouldn't want my mother to be like on like an Instagram model showing her body personally, just because you're right, it's your own personal relationship. It's my mother. But if she's profiting off it, if it has her own like financial benefits, then at the end of the day, I can't be too mad at it because you're still paying the bills, you're still putting food on the table, you're still providing. So I can't like, be angry. Yes, because it's like. Then again, people are gonna judge like, oh, your friends come to school, oh, your mom's on Instagram, oh, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if she's confident with doing that, like, are you only okay with it because she's bringing in money,
I was about to say
or would you be okay with it if she wasn't, and she was doing it just because?
You mean in terms of confidence?
Because
there's a
no, what it
difference between,
seems is like
financial benefit and then like
emotional
like
that's what I'm saying, because it seems like what you're
feeling
saying is what is making the situation easier for you is the money. The money is soothing the fact that your mom is out here. Like if there was no money involved, you wouldn't be like, oh, mom, do your thing. But since there's profits being made off of it, it seems like that's soothing you more, which really shouldn't necessarily be the case.
You personally, you're right. I mean, like I have my own opinion. I'm not gonna like sit here and lie to you. Like you're right. It's only the financial benefits that would. Because in all honesty, if it wasn't like if my mom could be comfortable, but my fear is like the judgment. Like that comes with like, oh, your mother's an Instagram model. Like she's a hoe. She's out here showing her body, exposing her body, and I always want my mother to be comfortable if she was.
Okay. Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
So what you're saying basically is you don't want other people to look at your mother the way y'all be looking at other females. Calling them hoes, calling them thoughts. You don't want
not that y'all calling them hoes, but you see how you be like somebody's bad. You don't want nobody saying that about your moms. Like you don't want nobody
you
don't want to say
not you guys specifically, but the way y'all talk about females, you wouldn't want someone calling, oh, your mom's a tree. She's like, oh, I saw your mom doing this.
Yeah.
This person. You want
you'd be tight. Oh.
Yeah, you would be tight.
You'd be
so
tight.
You're right. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're right.
You guys are about a minute over, so.
What about like the ending?
Shout out Connective Inc. You know what to do.
Alright, so.
Yes, sir.
Let's just wrap
this
up.
was it. Today is February 14th, 2020. And
Valentine's
we did our first
Happy Valentine's Day, y'all.
podcast.
Well, like our first official podcast on this platform, and we will be coming back with more.
With a big banger. Fire,
So
fire.
thank.
Like one.
Uno, dos, tres.
Happy Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Not even recorded, cause what if we did? Yeah. Okay. That was
Thank you.